to Chapter 11 of Fundamentals of Lean Process Improvement. In Chapter 11, you will study standard operations. Now in Chapter 10, you took a brief look at takt time. In Chapter 11, there will be an expansion on that topic. You will also look at standard operations routines, inventory minimums that are necessary, standard operations sheets, etc. So let's get started. Now the PowerPoint that is with this chapter is not formally part of the chapter. It's just one that relates to the topic. So you might find some terminology that is different from the chapter. I don't know how useful it will be. I think it's kind of a nice to know, but I'm going to use a few slides as I'm introducing this chapter. A group of standards that completely defines all aspects of a task or operation is collectively called standard operation. A standard operation is the best in terms of current practice for a given operation. It ends up being the baseline, what we call a standard of measurement, and key performance indicators are brought from that. So if you hear KPI, those are key performance indicators. They're indications of the success that that standard has been met. 4 key components of standard operations are the required cycle time, which we've studied before, completion time per unit, standard operations routine, and the standard WIP, WIP being inventory minimum necessary. Now, when we develop standard operations, it is important for the supervisor to be involved in the development, because the supervisor often has the most current information about the status of everything going on the floor and knows the best way to schedule and use the facilities to achieve the production goals. Supervisors know not only the operations, but the skills and abilities of their workers. Thus, the standards they have to develop will be doable by workers, and supervisors will be better able to explain the standards to those workers. Putting standards development on the shop floor also encourages improvement in operations and facilitates quick updates of the standards. Now this picture is of a huddle, and a huddle is quite often used. You'll see it in TV shows, on police shows, for example, and it's used between when a new schedule of workers come in, and they will say basically, this is what was accomplished, this is what the problems were, this is where we're going from now. A huddle will also take a look at where we are from our baseline standard of measure, what key performance indicators indicate that at the time, and what our goals are for the day. So many companies are using these huddles to do that type of thing. Now for your chapter, you will be looking at types of operations routines, standard quantity of the inventory, and successful standard operations. So you'll delve into that actually within your chapter. Now I do have a couple of videos from Simplex on takt time that I'd like you to watch, as well as standard work series. So both of these directly relate to the chapter and will be quite helpful for understanding the chapter. The quiz and the discussion questions are there also for you. Now this week we have 2 chapters, Chapter 11 and Chapter 12, and so we have quite a bit of work to do within 1 week. But I know you're up to it. So I'm going to say bye for now, and I'm going to create the video for Chapter 12.